Doublespeak is language designed to evade responsibility, make the unpleasant appear pleasant, the unattractive appear attractive. Basically, it's language that pretends to communicate, but really doesn't. It is language designed to mislead while pretending not to.
Is it done consciously?
Oh, yes, very consciously. Doublespeak is not a slip of the tongue or a mistaken use of language. It's exactly the opposite. It is language used by people who are very intelligent and very sophisticated in the use of language and know that you can do an awful lot with language.
Who's the worst offender?
In sheer bulk?
Yes.
Sheer numbers of examples? The government. If we come...
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And salutations to the brethren that are pushing out this word in truth and in sincerity. All right, this is your brother Yahweh Allah from GMS Chicago coming at you again with another lesson. All right, so as you can see and you just heard in this video, you know, I want to go into this this video, this short clip. All right, and you know, show in this video, man, that you know these Edomites are who we've been saying that they are. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, these self-proclaimed white people, all right, are in fact the Edomites in the scriptures, man, and the way that they speak, okay, show that they are the wicked. All right, there, you know, Malachi 1:4, it tells you that there's a people whom the Most High has called the border of wickedness, whom the Lord had indignation forever, man, and in their speech, they show themselves to be the wicked. All right, here it is. You know, this is William Lutz, who you just saw speaking. He wrote the book Doublespeak. All right, and he says that it's not a slip of the tongue, but language intended to deceive. All right, the people. All right, into accepting a truth and making it more. You know, accepting something, making it more acceptable when it's something like that's actually, you know, harmful, or you know, something intending to, how can I say it, to deceive, pretty much, man. Okay, and you know, this is what they call speaking with a forked tongue. All right, and these are these devils, man, these Edomites. All right, so this is how they operate. All right, speaking in lies, man. Okay, so I want to bring out a quick precept here in Psalms 55:20. It says, "He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant." All right, this is how these Edomites act, man. This is how these guys operate. You know, when they came to this land, they came and, you know, they made peace treaties with the natives of the Americas, which include the North, Central, and South of the Americas. But they broke every covenant. All right, talking about peace, but in their hearts they had a war, man. So, you know, and the way that they are able to pull this off is by using these tactics of doublespeak. All right, and verse 21 hits it on the head. It says, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." And like we just heard William Lutz say, he said, you know, these are words meant to deceive. Okay? And he says, who is the main perpetrator of it? He said by sheer bulk, it was the government. Okay? Because their MO is to stay in power, stay the richest nation, all right, and to keep their people under subjection. Now, it started with the real Hebrew Israelites, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but now they've moved on to enslave even their own people and everyone that's under their quote-unquote nation, all right, their country. Okay? So this is how they operate, man. This is why you have, you know, they can go around and say that they're bringing quote-unquote liberty and freedom to other countries, but really what that means is they're going to liberate them from their rulers, man. You know, by either putting them to death or buying them out. All right. When they say they're going to liberate them, they really mean put them under their subjection, man. Okay, to push wayward philosophies on them. Okay, things that are contrary to the Bible, things that are contrary of things wholesome. All right. So they have these, you know, double meaning or slick meaning words, man. Okay. And this is exactly what a devil will do, man. This is Revelation chapter 20 and verse. I'm gonna start at 1 real quick. Read a bit and then jump down. It says, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. All right, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more." And that's talking about these Edomites, man. You know, and those let me finish it off. It says that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. All right, and those 1,000 years is going into the what's it called? The time that they call the dark ages. All right, during the time where, you know, Esau calls it the dark ages, saying that, you know, like knowledge was hidden at that time, but really he was hidden at that time. All right, Jake was ruling at that time for that period of about 1,000 years. Okay, and at that time, you know, he was bound up, you know, so he wouldn't be doing what? Deceiving the nations. That's exactly what he's doing now, man. You know, through his lawyers. Okay, they use certain words to communicate to the people, you know, what they're doing, but telling you in a roundabout way to try to make it more acceptable to the people, man. Okay, talking about they're going to bring democracy to other nations, when really what they've brought is war and theft of their natural resources. All right. You know, if you go and watch the rest of the clip, they tell you, you know, he said that he had to stop writing the part about the government because it was going to take over the whole book. But it translates in all. His doublespeak translates to a lot of other industries, man. And really in all his ways, man. You know, he gave the example of deep chilled chickens. You know, how the food industry is one of the major people to use this technique as well. You know, selling chickens as fresh, but calling them deep chilled chickens because he brings them to only 28 degrees Celsius. All right, which, you know, if you were to bring them, which is just a few degrees off from actual freezing. You know. So this guy's just a devil all the way around, man. You know, and this is who the Bible is describing as the wicked, man. Who has that how do you say it? That forked tongue, man. That deceitful tongue. All right, him who deceives the nations. Okay, you know, let's see here. Let me jump to verse. Verse 7, it says, "And then when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea." All right, so just to point out that really his MO is his way of operating out here is simply just to deceive, man. All right, and the scriptures say that his
government from the local level.
His tongue shall fall upon themselves. All right, so even you have these Edomite here exposing the elites. All right, the elites, and how they use this way of speaking to deceive the people, man. Okay. You know, and the only reason this Edomite is talking back is because he didn't get a piece of the pie either, man. That's how selfish Esau is, man. Okay? He first had the real Hebrew Israelites in slavery, which he still does. Okay? But he even put his own people in slavery, man. They all got to wake up to a 9 to 5. All right? All skills of being self-sustainable have been taken away from people. All right? And has made them become dependent on either the state or big corporations, man. But let me keep going here on these precepts. Let me go to the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, "For the ungodly said, reasoning within themselves, but not aright, our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave." So the ungodly, the wicked, you know, they say, oh, well, you only live once. You only have one life. All right. And they're afraid of that death, man. They say here, oh, you're only here for a short time, right? But they said, what does it says? They were reasoning, but not aright, right? So I'm going to jump to verse 5. It says, for our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning, for it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. All right. It says, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. So they use and abuse the people and all the goods that are out there, man. That's why they spend their lives taking the fatness of the earth, all right, the resources, the oil, all right, all the different precious stones, okay, and what's it called, the planted goods, man. All right, and they use the people, all right, working them, pretty much till their back breaks, man. Okay, just to what? To gain more profit, and meanwhile they're taking the value for themselves, man. All right, and keeping the poor man oppressed, and they do this by using this double speak, man. I'm gonna play a little bit more.
All the way up to the federal level. I had to stop writing the chapter on government doublespeak. It was going to take over the whole book. But interestingly enough, and this was a revelation in doing the book, about a half a step behind comes business with a tremendous amount of doublespeak.
Right, so you're either a slave to the government or to big business, you know?
The chapter on food and food doublespeak. Everyone goes after that one about, is it true that you can put sugar free on a product and still have sugar in it? Is probably the one question I've been asked most often, because people simply can't believe that happens.
How can it happen?
Because sugar-free simply means they haven't added table sugar or cane sugar to it. They can add mannose, fructose, any of the syrup sweeteners, and still call it sugar-free.
All right, so even in the food industry, man, they're slowly killing off our people, man. All right, and we know about the food deserts. All right, the food deserts are mainly around so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American locations, man. The Whole Foods, the places that have fresher food are mainly around these Edomite neighborhoods, man. And meanwhile, so not only that, but now even in their packaging, they're lying to you, so you might try to keep and try to be healthy and pick better things, and according to the advertisement, it'll tell you like sugar-free or any other, or any other labels. It might say all natural. All right, when when all natural can be, something that's know, for example, they had that example, man, where they were saying that in the vanilla, I forget if it was the vanilla or the raspberry, the all natural, they were getting secretions from beaver butts, man. So this shit is foul, man. You know, so they could say all natural and put some abominable stuff in your food, man. Say sugar free, but add sugars in different forms, man. Meanwhile, you thinking you're eating healthy, but they're destroying you, man. So it's all, you know, and these foods affect your brain, all right? They'll bog you down, all right? And it's all meant to keep you under control, under subjection, all right? Keep you from rising up, okay? Like he said, to make the truth more acceptable, man, all right? But meanwhile, they're lying through their teeth, man. Because this is their MO, man, to use and abuse, speedily use the creatures like as in youth. All right, I'm going to keep going back in this Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 7. It says, let us fill ourselves with costly wines and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and this is our lot. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us spare the widow, Salakia. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. And that's what it is, man. For them, big business, government, they can all get it, man. The old, okay, you know, the widow, the poor righteous man, all right, they don't care, man. They're gonna rob everybody, oppress them, all right, and be slick with their deceitful words, you know, while doing it, man. This guy brings out another example about how with the hospitals, you know, when they incorrectly gave incorrect amounts of anesthesia to a pregnant woman, they ended up killing her and the child. They called it a medical misadventure, man. So, you know, these devils, man, this is how they operate, man. Okay, and the truth is coming out on them. But at the end of the day, you know, the Lord set them out for a short season. All right, but when the Lord comes back, all this deceit and all this wickedness, man, is going to be done. All right, and we can read that here in Psalms 5. All right, I'm going to start at, I believe the 4th verse. It says, "For thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity." All right. See, the thing is, Jake wanted to go after wickedness, so the Lord sent the wicked nation over them, man. If that's what they wanted, that's what they got. You know. And now you're getting the examples, you know, in your face. All right, coming up against us, man. But you know, this is just for a short season. Okay, when the righteous turn back and get sealed, all right, you know, everybody else is going to be destroyed or put under subjection, man. Meanwhile, the elect's going to be delivered, you know, those that actually rejected the iniquity and the wickedness, man. Verse 6 here says, "Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing." All right, and this is an interesting word, leasing, you know, because a lot of people, you know, they'll go on, they'll get an apartment and they'll get a lease, or get a car, or get a lease on the car. But if you look up the etymology of that word, it means to deceive. All right, so right here it says, "Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasings, that speak deceit. The Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man." So there you go. "But as for me, I will come into thy house in the multitude of thy mercy, and in thy fear will I worship towards the holy temple." See, you know, we got to reject these deceitful works, man. All right, and speak against them, man. Like, what did our Lord tell us to do in Ezekiel, man? Prophesy against Edom. All right. Verse 8, it says, "Lead me, O Lord, in thy righteousness because of mine enemies. Make thy way straight before my face. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness." Oh, Salakia. "Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open sepulcher." And the sepulcher is a grave, man. So they're speaking out here death, man. Everything that they're pushing, man, is death. And they're trying to make it pass by to you like it's you know, something great, man. You know, something acceptable. You know, like their terms, gender equality. All right, when the Lord didn't have, you know, they make it sound like it's like equal, like, you know, something that's fair. But in reality, the Lord gave different roles, man. All right, all you gotta do is you know, what's written in Corinthians, man. You gotta read what's written in Corinthians. All right. Even in any team, you can't have more than one leader, man. All right, because you know it'll make for different, you know, it'll make for a power struggle. It'll make for moving to multiple directions at the same time. You can't move forward. Okay, which is not to say that there can't be, you know, any suggestions be made, but at the same time there's got to be one head. Like Hamashiach is the head of the church, and then the man the head of the woman, and then the woman of the tell the other younger women and children, man. All right, so there's order, man. But here it is, he calls it gender equality to try to make it sound like it's fair. Okay, so this guy he's just a devil, man. Okay, it says their throat is an open sepulcher. They flatter with their tongue. Destroy thou them, O Yahweh. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee. All right. So these guys are devils, man. And you know, I just you know, want to do that.
So, you know, when you eat something,
because you know, I was inspired by this video here. You know, it's clearly showing you how these devils operate, man. You know, and to be wary of it, look out for it. You know, because these guys are the devils that the Bible speaks of, and these guys are only speaking up against it because they got taken out, pushed to the side from getting a piece of the pie, man. All right, it's either that or, you know, the Lord is a king of war, man. He is a man of war. All right, so you know, he knows about all infiltration, and he's mingled Israelite seeds amongst all nations. So you have Israelites, you know, that are inclined to bring out the truth, that are among them, that look like Edomites, but are in fact Israelites. All right, but I'm leaning that these guys didn't get a piece of the pie, so now they're angry. But let me put a little bit more of the video and close out.
sugar-free, there's sugar in it.
Oh, yes, and by the way, I found out in a radio
Get a little bit forward.
patient, it included slitting the patient's throat during surgery. This was called a therapeutic misadventure.
Right, that was the term, therapeutic misadventure.
How about economically non-affluent?
That's what the president of the City University of New York called the poor students attending the City University.
Right, instead of calling them poor and getting back bad light, they call them the economic non-affluent. You know, these devils, man, with their $1,000 words.
They came from economically non-affluent families.
Deep chilled chickens.
Frank Perdue filed a complaint with the Department of Agriculture that his competitors were selling frozen chickens as fresh. And the Department of Agriculture investigated and said, no, granted the chickens are packed in ice at a temperature of 28 degrees Fahrenheit.
So like it has that Celsius, it's actually Fahrenheit. You're right. You know,
These are not frozen chickens. These are merely deep-chilled chickens and can therefore be sold as fresh. Orwell, in his two works, his essay, Politics in the English Language, and then really giving full-blown thought to that essay in his novel 1984, addressed the importance of language in society and the control and manipulation of language to control and direct society. I think
that's what it's used to direct and control society, man. All right. So there you go. You know, I pray this was an edifying lesson. Like always, I want to end by giving all praises, honoring, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone who really teach well, and salutations to the brethren pushing forth this word in truth and in sincerity. Until the next one, brothers, say shalom, and as always, abba babal.